rebellion, and they are all comrades that convene, and they eat and produce. Like you're talking about how like they eat and produce stuff, like the cows, they eat and produce milk, and the chickens, like they eat, and the eggs, and the humans eat them, but the humans eat, but they don't produce anything, and they realize that the animals are just basically living in like this really bad and miserable life that end up and they're all gonna die.
So keep the conversation moving. What is that? So he said all of that. What do you now say in response to that? Like, what does that remind you of? Or what do you want to add to that? What did you notice about the same thing?
Well, yeah, I did notice that all the animals had like the same thoughts as we do in our lives. So like they can see that they are being used, and that they can see that they're only being used for what the farmers need, and then once the farmer's done with them, they're just kind of thrown away, so you feel kind of bad for them.
Mm-hmm. Like how he said with the dog, like when it gets old or whatever, like how when he was like useless and done with, he just kind of said how like tie a brick around his neck and just let him drown in the pond.
Yeah.
So like when they're useless and done, they just kind of throw him away.
So it's kind of like the humans really don't care. I mean, this human, Mr. Jones, was his name. He, in particularly, the animals feel like he doesn't really care about them at all. All he wants is money, benefiting from them. Yeah.
Does that remind you of another text that we that we read in here, with the dog becoming old and then useless?
Oh yeah. Oh, what was his name? Candy? Yeah, Candy had a dog like that.
Yeah.
But see, that was the difference between Candy and Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, like, just was kind of waiting for them to die, but Candy loved his dog.
Candy, yeah, he liked his dog because he's been with them for how long?
He's had him since he was a pup. So.
But the other guys, right? They were like, well, the dog's old, it's useless, and it's not good for anything. And that was Candy's fear, right? As he was old, he was getting too old to work, and what would they do? Like send him packing? That's why he wanted so fiercely to be a part of the farm.
Yeah. So I guess how the animals feel is kind of how Candy was starting to feel. Like he was really good at one point, but people are starting to realize that he's not worth too many things anymore.
Basically, when they're done with anything, or once they're done with like what do they have to do, they're done.
So can you see a parallel for people in the real world today?
Somewhat. It's like farmers and people nowadays, like farmers, they somewhat like grow onto their animals and they don't really like killing them. I mean, but in some places of the world, I guess some farmers don't really care. They're just trying to make money.
All right, so parallel to farming. What about the elderly in our society?
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, a lot of people do care for them. Like if the elderly's like part of their family, like they would care for them. But like some people they think that they can't really help the society or economy anymore.
How about parallels to veterans?
I guess they feel like they've already served their purpose in life and they've done what they need to do, and at that time they were honored. But now that now that they're older, it's like people are more trying to attend for them, and people are doing more things just to help them, so they feel kind of more useless.
Okay, awesome. So what you've done is you made a text-to-text connection, like comparing this to Of Mice and Men, and like text to the world connection, which is exactly what you're supposed to be looking for. Now, how can you write up this conversation in a little tiny summary that would just fit right there? So talk about that, how you want to summarize it, and then you write a summary, and then you'll move on to Jake's contribution. Okay, so I'll let you guys summarize. You guys are the best discussion group I've heard all day.
I thought you were going to say this class. I'm like, oh.
Nope. All day. Yes, definitely. Number one.
Rats.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Were voted on.
In the farm.
Were voted
A
on.
lot of people feel
Aero comrades or not. All right. So, they obviously said that they were comrades because they always preached about equality in all
equal.
men. So we'll put equality among
Animals.
animals.
In the
That
farm.
all animals were equal and all men were evil.
So what was the thing that you wrote on your index card that is causing this conversation?
I said how the animals took a vote on whether the rats were comrades or not on the farm.
Oh, that's interesting. So what's a good parallel for the real world?
How you vote on president? Your president?
Well, the rats aren't they're not voting on whether or not the rats are leaders. They're voting on whether or
I
not
would
the
say
rats are what?
I would say like high school friend groups, stuff
I have
like
a good
that.
example.
So a lot of people might not be included in some things.
So maybe you're not deemed worthy to be a part
Women's
of a certain
rights,
friend
how they
group?
voted for women's right, and for them to be the same as equal as men as they are for women.
That's going on still.
Yep.
Parallel.
Equality for women, yeah.
Say that louder. Say that right there.
Equality for women, yeah. Yeah!
Okay.
Mr. Seaman. High school.
He will be hearing this, so that's great.
Good. What up, Mr. S? All right. High school friends and women rights.
So you've made a text to world connection right there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It sounds like you guys are having great discussions.
Thank you.
And you're already through 2 people?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Keep it up.
Sweet. Peace out, Mr. S. Have a good day.
Is there anything I don't know. What if they're the exact same? We still
Are you ready?
No, I was reading the lunch.
Okay,
What about yours, Angela?
Okay, so the main character is old, and he said he's gonna die, so he has to pass on the knowledge before he dies. I think that's like Russia, how they're trying to spread communism, and this book is like supposed to be like set in that time period.
Put your brand new chairs. Don't you break them.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. Like that, they're trying to spread their communism. And this is like the animals.
Well, we're not talking about much government here, and then it's based off like the farm animals and with them passing on their knowledge. To me, it's kind of like they want to pass down what they know to either their grandchildren or something like that.
Okay, so I see a connection to very specific, like why this book was written and what was going on in that context, and then something more general, like present day, like an elderly person wanting to, like my grandmother wrote a big long letter of her entire life right
This
before she
part
died.
right
She
here.
she wanted to be kind of not immortalized, but I guess in a sense immortalized, like
Like put into like memory that's going to last a while.
yeah,
I
sure.
can see that this part is talking about how Russia was oppressing people, and that why were they standing for the conditions when they could have revolted a while ago.
Okay.
Speak
And
into
for
the microphone.
the farm animals, it's them living like within a farm. It's not exactly up to date for them. Like they're not being taken care of well. So they want to do something about it, but
You
they
said
can't
they were
with how old
scared
they
of
are.
the other. They want to know if the other animals were friendly or not that didn't live there. And I thought that was like, you know, like
Major wanted to know,
other countries.
and that if the wild creatures such as rats and rabbits are their friend or their foe.
Basically, how
To me, it's important
the U.S.
to
took
talk about.
Russia.
Yeah, to me, it's important to talk about because it's like a standing question for everybody, and that you want to know if somebody's like your friend or if they're not your friend. That way, you know, like who you can trust and everything. So for like the farm animals, it's kind of hard for them to kind of trust the wild animals because you don't know if they're going to go off and tell others about what's happening as well.
I think that's a really valid point. So now, how are you going to take what? So who was the discussion starter for this topic? Whose question was this? It was yours. Okay. So now we need to summarize this whole conversation that you just had in this tiny little spot. Who's the recorder? Who has the very best handwriting?
He has the best
Okay,
handwriting.
so let's compose this as a group. So we're under Brandon, where it says contribution, you're going to need to summarize. You guys will work together and summarize
The question.
Brandon's question, and then summarize the response. And you're running out of time, so you
Yeah.
need to get started. Make sure that sheet's turned in.
All right, so
That's
All right, so I see a group member not participating here. Have you guys been?
Who's participating? They filled in.
Okay, all right. So we
I'm
want to
confused.
keep that.
Okay, I'm confused. I don't know what to do.
What are
Is
you
that
confused
recording?
about? Yep, it sure is. What are you confused about?
Okay.
Okay, it says summary of group's response. So she keeps talking about writing up what's in the book, but
No,
I'm
I'm just saying like writing out these words.
Yep. So what did you just finish talking about? Whose index card?
mine.
Yours. And what did you have on your index card? What you have written on your index card should be summarized under contribution.
I said the animals are talking and they are coming together so that they can fight their common enemy.
Okay. And then you guys all talk about that index card.
Yeah, it's
And then
right.
here, you write a summary of everything you talked about. Just like a sentence or
Can we
two.
do bullet points?
Okay, can I say we all agreed I was right?
Well, I'm hoping that you guys go beyond that. So this, like a discussion should be a give and take, right? So it shouldn't just be Samia saying something and everybody saying, yeah, I agree. You should try and add something and keep that
All of the
conversation going.
I'm telling you, right? What I'm saying.
Make sure you work together to compose this.
Is that still recording?
Yep,
Yes.
it's going to be recording the whole time.
Trying to get the.
Like it's like about like